Hello one and all, it's me again. Today I'm going to talk about Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. There was an original Night Stalker, and if you want to look him up, you can. The original was never caught. But anyway, Richard Ramirez was Hispanic, and he's the first non-white serial killer that I'm going to be dealing with. There's not that many, at least in this country. I mean, in South Africa, you had Moses Chitole and all that stuff. And let's see here. I haven't done a video about a guy who wasn't like this, on a guy who wasn't white, save Elliot Rodger, who was mixed, Asian and white. That being, but Elliot Rodgers was a spree killer, not a serial killer. Anyway, moving on. Richard Ramirez was born into a very large family in Texas. He grew up in a very religious household, and he had a lot of issues with his family. His father would hit himself in the head with a hammer and would beat him and his siblings, and he had epileptic seizures when he was in school, and that sort of thing. He also had a really fucked up childhood, and his parents' beatings was only the beginning. He had a pedophile teacher who would come over and visit him while the parents were away, and who was supposed to be his tutor. But anyway, moving on. He also had this fucked up cousin who would tell him stuff about Vietnam and all that crap. And eventually the guy shot his wife right in front of Richard. He was judged insane and sent to a mental hospital. He eventually got out, and when he did, he started teaching Richard Ramirez how to kill people. Like how to stalk, how to, break in and all to houses and beat and move with stealth and all that stuff. And he, what happened is, I really feel like, it's just, what happened is eventually Richard Ramirez got into Satanism, and of course, it was all downhill from there. He went into the cemetery and would start to pray to the devil, would sleep there at night and everything like that. He also, by the time he started killing, he had already had a fucked up life. He was on drugs and all that stuff. And I think what really terrified people about him was he would break into people's houses and kill them. I mean, it wasn't like he was going around picking up prostitutes and killing them at a secluded location. He was attacking everybody. Young, old, different racial groups. He had no type like Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer did. He had no specific type. And he would just kill anyone. And he also did a sloppy job of covering up his crimes because, he believed he was the servant of Satan. In fact, he contacted a group of devil worshippers in San Francisco, went up there and decided the Church of Satan or whatever it wasn't for him. He believed that he was more special, and his narcissism and ego would not allow him to share that place with Satan with others. he was on a solo mission, and he would draw pentagrams on the walls and things like that of his victims' houses. And he used everything he could. Guns, knives, clubs. When he was 16, let's rewind the clocks back to age 16, he had he worked at a hotel, and he would watch women. He would sneak into the rooms and watch women, which it was kind of like, on the job training for what he would for the killing spree he would eventually launch. And anyway, what it was with Richard Ramirez is that he then attacked a woman when her husband was away. Her husband came back, saw he was trying to raping his wife, or something like that, or in the process of raping his wife, and her husband beat the hell out of him. He was charged with rape, but the couple was only vacationing there and wanted nothing more to do with the ugly affair, and they didn't return to El Paso, and the charges were dropped. To Richard Ramirez, this basically taught him that he was protected by Satan, and that he could act like this without any repercussions, because he both deserved and would get a special protection. And what's more is, Richard Ramirez was very unique. I mean, his cool off period was a lot shorter than most serial killers. I mean, he couldn't wait for, a week or a month to pass before he killed somebody. In a matter of, before, 24 hours elapsed, he could begin to feel the lust and the desire to kill. And, Richard Ramirez, what interestingly happened is that they eventually got this in California, they got this new fingerprint system, and they matched his prints to a car that was stolen, and everybody eventually knew who he was, and there was a massive manhunt. And the police were at all the bus stations waiting for him to come back, waiting for him to leave. But in reality, he came back. And he went to El Paso, Texas, and while all this was going on, he came back from El Paso into Los Angeles, and eventually this woman shouts him, recognizes him, her face turns white, and she goes, El Matador, the killer. And he starts to run, and he gets on a bus, and everybody sees who he is. And it's like, he's running for his life, and everybody's just on him. Police, civilians, everything and everyone is just chasing him. And eventually a group of people in East Los Angeles subdue him, and they were about to kill him before the police got there. And what happened is, at the trial, it was he just showboated. I mean, he had those big dark sunglasses, he had, drew pentagrams on his hand, go like this, and go, Hail Satan, throughout the trial, and yelled, this trial is a joke. And eventually he got convicted, and but what happened is a lot of people, he had a lot of groupies, especially female groupies, and one of the groupies was one of his jurors. And he just, he was probably as big, if not a bigger showboat than Ted Bundy, although he didn't represent himself. But after being sentenced to death, he just said, big deal, death always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland. Certainly had a lot of swag about him. He did not die in the death chamber. He died of cirrhosis of the liver brought on by hepatitis. Anyway, Richard Ramirez really struck at the core. It's like the feeling that we are safe in our houses, but we aren't. He can sneak in and he can conduct unimaginable horror. He can convert a house into a chamber of horrors. He literally can. And that was what was so scary about him. And, yeah, it went on for a while. He just was so erratic and so unpredictable that the police had a pretty hard time catching him, despite being the disorganized serial killer among disorganized serial killers. When a serial killer, they typically get off on society's attempts to stop them. They often will view that that this is like a contest or a battle between them and society. They just get off on the fact that, everyone is trying to catch them, everybody's terrified of them, and here are all these psychologists, forensic psychologists, police officers, homicide detectives, and private investigators just trying so hard to catch them, and yet they're winning over all of them. And they just get off on that because they feel invincible. They get that rush. And that is certainly true with Richard Ramirez. Anyway, he married in prison, and his wife, I think, said she would kill herself on the day she was executed. I don't know if she killed herself after he died, but anyway, he wasn't executed. He died of cirrhosis of the liver. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.